Salutations. uh, Morning, everybody. I see there's some kind of bug going on at ISPC or the data provider because it says it's up 150%, and that doesn't seem like it's gonna be true. Yeah, not true at all. What's on my ASPC? Market is open. Did it say that? I can't even hear anything. Speeding up the market is open. I didn't hear it open. I want to. Okay, I probably got to restart my TradeZero, even though there's no trade, but just in case. See, you guys probably laugh, but there has been times where if you left your platform or your uh yeah, pretty much your platform overnight, it would do weird things. Um, and then you're also probably like, oh man, why would you leave your platform open like that? Isn't that dangerous, or isn't that like silly or something like that? You always got to be ready. Not really. Sometimes I keep it on just in case. If I'm just casually walking by Steven and he's just like, big trade, and I'm just like, I'm already there. Like, those seconds sometimes they add up. Dead. Yeah, today's dead. Oh, message got retracted. Never mind. Um, so there's really nothing going on. I don't understand why this is doing. Like, if I take off my filter, I put things at, let's say, 1%. Yeah, you have a lot of things like 20 cents to, I said 20 cents, 20% to like 5 cents, but there's no volume on any of them. We haven't really had anything, big like parabolic since October. Everything else has just been low floaters. We even settled for a lot of the low floaters, um, but we don't even have that today. Let's give it like 15, 20 minutes. See if anything pops up. In the meantime, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. What is this? Is it another glitch? Looks like another glitch. Actually, let me try to confirm these. Oh, yeah, another glitch. I know this isn't true because if I take this down to the market, or yeah, the watch list down here in the market overview, it should change. Yeah, it changes to -30 or -3% ISP. Then it goes to 7. Okay, now it just changed, but I had to put it in my watch list before it changed on the gainer and losers. So I'm not gonna worry about it. Um, Instead of looking at the gainer, what kind of loser? forgot the rule for that. 20. Was it 50? No. It's bullish if it's below. Okay. How do I do it above? Oh, there we go. Less than. I don't think it worked. Oh, put in the wrong one. All right, I'm bad at this. Oh, wait, is it negative? I'm trolling. So it'd be greater than. Uh, did it automatically just switch? Oh, no. Oh, okay. And these percentages are fake. There's no way that's real. Yeah, no way that's real. Well, I found one way to break it. So let's see what the questions are for now. Whoa, okay. There we go. I didn't even know you could make things orange. Egg Benedict. Nothing good popping up. Pre-market scan might just go back to sleep and revisit around 12:30. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. Like, I love the late day plays. Um, I just want to master my morning first before I get into that. How much you say? Okay, so with how much money did I start with, and what would I say is the least amount of money that I need to have to trade? So I usually say 3 to 5K is the perfect amount of money to start with, because you can pretty much spread that out over like 3 to 6 months when you're first trying to build the habit, and then that habit's going to take you a lot further than if you started with like a large sum and then lost most of it within the first month. And that's with guidance or without guidance. So like 3 to 5K, that's enough to like recover, go work at McDonald's again, and then like get that back in like a month or like a couple weeks, depending on how hard you work, what shifts and stuff. Um, what's RVB? RVB. But in terms of how much money I started with, technically I went in first with like 500 back with a high school account, and then I eventually put in 5,000 once I made like 2-3 trades, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am the best ever. And eventually I learned about liquidity because I would get into pink sheet, and not only were they slow, there wasn't that many people, and I'll put in like a couple hundred, like max 1,000 on my interactive broker. I was doing hundreds on interactive. I was doing hundreds on TD Ameritrade, and I was doing thousands on interactive broker, and each one had its own like pros and cons. With a TD Ameritrade, since I was dealing with hundreds, each of the commissions was like minimum $10, and then I was doing some type of scalping strategy that I like learned from a half price book I got from a half price bookstore, and Trading for Dummies and some other stuff like that. Eventually, that was just eating my account just because of the fees. Even if I did make money, I couldn't get past the fees that I was using. And then I went to Interactive Broker. Eventually, that one went to other than like the really long the long like login process. I actually liked Interactive Broker. It's just when me and Steven started to go towards short, then it was a lot harder to get like borrow fees, and it's a few other like little things. Mostly it was a me problem. It wasn't like the actual broker, but they definitely do have their own edges. But just to revisit the question, because I talked around it a lot. I started with like 500 in TD, and then like three to 5K in like interactive broker. Um, then I went to, what was the next one? Yeah, then I went to TZ. Oh no, actually, then I went to Robinhood for a little bit. With how much start? It was something super small, just because I knew I was messing with Robin, and so it was like a thousand or two, and then eventually, I think I got into a really large position, and I already used like three of my trades, and I used that fourth trade to get out, and I got the 90-day ban. I only made like 20. Let's see. Yeah, I only made like 20 or like $200 after like going up like 800, then going down like 600, then going up like 1,000, then going down like 900, and then that's where I just got triggered because like I was going sideways, and so I just stopped for a while. Um, then did the same thing where I forgot the actual trade, but it was like I did something up, then I did something down, and then I slightly end up like positive, but I'm out of pattern day trades, and so uh we're going into the weekend, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can like hold this. I don't have the like strong enough heart. Take that out, and then I got the 90-day ban, and I'm like, okay, this time let me do it seriously. I'm gonna go to TradeZero, and then we ended up in March. In the story. Um, at Goat, if trading full time, I would recommend 50K equity minimum. If you're just dabbing, then I recommend 30K to 25K to get over PDT, which you don't touch, and then don't use the 5K to practice. Yeah, that's a good practice too. With that though, you have to have a lot more discipline than me, to where um, Eggs Benedict is right when they say that if you get the 25K account, you want that to be your cushion, your like starting point. Eventually, you'll get to a point where everything above that is your actual capital you want to trade with. So if you have 5K above that, give yourself multiple chances to like work with that money. You don't go in 5K positions. You want to give yourself like 5, 10, like however many chances you actually think you need. Then to practice your pattern, and then everything around that pattern. Now, what did I say? Yeah, so if you have like a 5K account or a 3K account, uh, start with the 5K and give yourself like a max loss like each day of like 1,000, and then that gives you like 5 full days of trading. And that's just the losing part. If you actually win something, like you have more time to practice. And the way this stuff goes is the longer you survive, the more you see, and then the more you see, the more you'll be able to actually do something with that experience. Main thing is you also want to have good habits, like keeping a journal, writing statistics, watching instead of actually doing, um, practicing all those things that the other 90% aren't doing, and then getting the edge over them and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Next, uh, how do you set up the gainer slash loser scanner? How do we set up the bounce short plus gap up short scanner? So the bounce short gap up scanner, that one you're gonna have to pretty much wait till March, to where we make it like a lot easier to like put that stuff in here. But and then we're gonna give that out like at the conference, and like the update that's pretty much coming up in the next phase. But now I'm not very well equipped to like do that. And then the ones that people do have on this, it's more of handmade, or not handmade. The platform is supposed to be used to like make whatever you're trying to find uh like easy to find in here, but you have to customize it yourself. So it has the ability to customize it, but when it comes to like the gap up and the bounce short, it's really hard to like program that in there. But they found some type of uh okay, I'll just show you what I mean. It's in the scanner, right? Pretty much I'm going to get trained by the programmers. And that's not going to happen until March on how to do this stuff. But I do remember being shown something. It wouldn't be in the strategy builder. This is historic. But just a sec. Yeah. All right. So for the gainer and loser scanner, the only thing you have to worry about with that is like these little T's up here, and then just put in the values that are already like saved for the rules. It's also like, you know, customizable. It's whatever you want to like put in there. And the symbols, they're kind of automatic based off whether you have gainers or losers. Outside of that, the tabs, they don't, I don't think they have you don't have another place where you can access this besides like the view where you can pretty much toggle it on and off. Outside of that, I feel like there's another thing. Like just like how you have like the scanner and like you run a scan, then it goes to like a second tab. I said this. No, you can't do that with the gainer. I remember there's something. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Just put in whatever you want inside these little T's, and then it'll filter whatever it's giving through the provider. Eventually, we'll get to the point where are you at? There's going to be a list of brokers and providers, and you can just switch to the data that you want. Yeah, that's it. At Muhammad, if REVB does a reversal around 9:45 a.m., which was 3 minutes ago. Uh, okay. If it does a reversal around 9:45 Eastern to the upside, it seems interesting to me on the daily. No heavy overhead resistance because of the gap. Because of that gap. No, it, right. So, I'm not talking about his analysis. I'm talking about like, is this actually only been out for like 4 days? Am I doing? Okay, if that's the case, this is an IPO, and then if that's true, it's opened at 8, went up to 10. Doesn't have any volume though, but at least we know that it has historic resistance. Um, in terms of like market cap and volume, We could, okay, we see a market cap of 100 or somewhere around there. Maybe, if this gets some volume from like 10:30 or 10:20, somewhere around there, to like 1:30. Any times that are like where liquidity should be shifting. What is that doing? Multitask. Forgot. So RETP. I don't even see anything that would have the information like a float. No, I want like a 10Q or like a 424B or like any kind of that stuff. I guess we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Ask Google. Okay, Reddit. I'm not going to Reddit. Okay, we also can reverse engineer it. If we got 100 here, we got, was it 900 there? Take that back. Probably got like less than 10. Now, is this accurate? Don't know. Where they're getting that? Also don't know. So let's say fundamental. What's a credible site? Oh, NASDAQ. Also, other place. No, that's just research though. Where you at? All right. Or see what they say. Okay, not that fundamental. I guess I got to use float and go to the market cap. 77. Okay, that looks close to what we had. Shares outstanding 17. Okay, what is this? Is that credible? Looks like a quote. If we have anything else. Okay, it's a little bit above. I doubt. Well, it's new, so most people don't know what it is. No, we can use that to our advantage. No, what was I doing? It said not IPO. Okay, I'd like more volume though. I consolidate around 8.5, then push to 0. Then push to the open price. Good. See, with me, I'd as long as it stays within 15%, which is like 135. So if this opened at like 925, I'd be looking for like, as long as it stays above 815, which it did clearly. I see that as like some type of bullish sign. Then go sideways for about half an hour, get some volume. Yeah, but let me finish what he was saying. Yeah, he said consolidated around 8.5, then push to the open price. Yeah, it's a lot more concise than what I said. Mine's too precise. Okay, SBEV. SBTV. Did someone like mistype it or something? Not the one in the chat. I'm talking about. Like, is that why that one's popular? Oh, SB. Oh, okay. I like green. There you go. Yeah. And I just changed it. Well, that's fine. The other one said it. Not dead, but dude. 15. Okay, we're looking at 30 cents per share. $22 float, 60 million market cap. Okay, hey, this is actually kind of normal. I don't like that it waited till the morning to like come up, but still, it's actually kind of normal. It's bare minimum though. Well, if you look at the daily, it actually does fit. Yeah, a bare minimum. Like it's not a multi-day runner. Um, but it does do 200 to 300%. So I'm trying to figure out like what the exact pattern this would be, but it definitely has potential to do something. But the stuff that I'm looking for is you'd have to consolidate for a while before it's actually worth trading. Um, like when I say a while, I'm talking about like minimum an hour. This uptrend, this could just be the beginning of a first green day. Not first green day because it's actually on the 5th, but like it's still just not the right time to trade. Yeah. Yeah. I already said it. Like this is 200% from where it started. I want somewhere closer to 300% or at least like 270. And that's where I treat it like a super overextending short or something. But until then, I'd have to add in a few more details that I'm looking for. Uh like yeah, yeah. I'll leave it at that. In the meantime, let me actually brush up on the note on the one that I think this is. Oh wait, finish this question. Consider dilution tracker to get a more accurate share count. Tim Grattani also likes that. Dilution tracker. Okay. I'll write a note of that. Right. Thank you. Nope, not a fresh start. Well, could be. Yeah, but it's above it. Okay, it only goes back 21. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is this is kind of predictable. It has enough consistent resistance to like bring it down. I really wish this was so I'll tell you what I'm thinking. So this this is a downtrending chart. Found some support. People are bored. Uh Whatever other like news this probably has that we haven't seen yet caused it to spike. Um Spiked a little bit, found some support, came back up again. The consistent resistance or the the amount of volume like here, it's important for consistent resistance. All the stuff before, when you look at where the dollar price is, it kind of doesn't matter because all this record breaking volume compared to its entire history just reset that entire chart. Now we have a fresh chart. With that in mind, you have a fresh chart plus consistent resistance. And now remember, I just said the chart's fresh, so that actually all doesn't matter. Which also can add to this, but the consistent resistance plays a factor where people recognize. Okay, I don't know how deep I'm supposed to go, but um, pretty much just like wait and see. But this is the bare minimum fresh chart. And in terms of like extension that we're looking at, I was trying to use that previous like resistance as a place to find where the earliest shorts were going to go, and then that's the bare minimum opportunity window that we're looking for. Um, and this scaled like a few days, and it's like barely green each day. That has a slow grinding effect, which if that resistance wasn't like refreshed, then that actually eat everything up to that point, and then that caused this spike. But on this first one, that was mostly just due to like a lot of volume coming in, and like whatever catalyst or whoever like pumped this, it could be so many things. Main thing is like when you have these together, um, this looks closer to one of the not swing patterns, but it looks to like a different daily pattern, and as long as it doesn't meet a certain range, yeah, I'm just oversharing at this point. That's enough for now. I just saw the Emmanuel's question. Do you feel that you have made progress in these 14 weeks? Um, when did I start? Because I definitely made progress, but my progress was kind of like a very shotgun kind of focus. And so, in terms of my trading, like I made as much progress as I wanted to in like the trading up to like October. Now doing that streaming, it was a bigger animal than I thought it was. So 14 weeks. So 4 per week. So it's about 3 months. We're in January. So, okay. Yeah, we're right. I started what 60 something videos in. Yeah, okay, I started on the 4th. Yeah. But before then, it was like 6 months of just doing the same thing. Okay. Yeah. So in these 14 weeks, I think I faced a lot of challenges head on, and it made me better as a person. Um, but if I was alone, I think I would have had different types of challenges, or would have took me longer to get to this point. Um, but it's also kind of reassuring in a way to have like a accountability group or chat. Just be like, all right, you fuck up. We see everything because I'm naturally not naturally, but like nurturally from like an early age, a very sneaky person. Like, ooh, sneaky man. Hoo, hoo, hoo. But okay, that was an inside joke. Um, and the thing is, like, it messes with my memory to where I can get away with like a lot of things with myself because like that's the only rule I pretty much apply to myself. You know, I could be sneaky with myself, but not other people. And it eventually got to a point where I couldn't tell what was actually happening in like reality. And eventually, um, after I decided to like be as honest as possible, what do you call it? Stop. I'm not saying I'm a violent person either. I'm just saying, like I use very aggressive means. Um, not with others again, only with myself. Like I'm just really hard on myself, in multiple ways. And like after I try to be a lot less toxic, I feel better. Or like how does it? Yeah, yeah. I feel more mature. I feel like a little bit more control. Yeah, that's all I really had to say. So yeah, I do feel. What was the original question? Do you feel that you have made progress in these past 14 weeks? Yes, I've made progress. But in terms of like my trading, I feel like I just open up to a different reality of the trading. Before it was more of like closer to a game and I was winning at the game. And like how do I say it? Like I try to think in a very abstract and dreamy way most of the time. Because reality bores or not bores me. You know where I'm probably going with this. Let's go to the next. 22 million float and 37 cents a borrow. Greedy. Yeah, yeah, I get that. What makes it normal? Okay. So when I said this is normal, in 2021 and 2022, the floats that are under like 7, yeah, about 7, 6 million, they act like micro floats. We want small floats. We want those to be around like below 30 million. Um, like it didn't have, these are like rough numbers. we just want it to have like a specific kind of price action, so it's actually tradable. And that's what makes it normal, is that it's closer to like that 10 to 30 range. You actually can get up to like 50 depending on the size of the market cap, but it's this one at least is below 100, and this one it's at least is above 10. That's all I'm really like saying is normal. Like for my statistics at least, because within that range it acts a certain way, to where I think I showed my statistics in the beginning. Like that's where you start seeing the people or the prices go to like 70 to like 100%, and like it's more consistent that way. Versus sometimes you get the 180 this day, then 200 that day. Now this one shows a clearer correlation between the volume and the range. Now the only thing that separates the range created at that point, because it's a big enough float that there's less float rotations, and with that there's less buyer insufficiency that comes in quicker. You have a better chance at timing the top or understanding the minimum requirements either way before it has another leg up, or before it falls short and stuff like that. It's just a lot. I want to say quicker or slower, because there is no like one answer. It's just easier for me to read during that range. Okay, yeah, there we go. So those averages that you'll see, where people are just like, oh, just aim for 20%, just aim for 30%. That's the kind of range that you'll see that kind of price action like frequently. Everything outside of that is more of just feeling it. Did you take the Ducks Freedom Challenge? If I did, I didn't take it right. Just like I said in the description, I've been working with Steven for like 3 years, and that came after college, which was like 2018. So it's like 4 years now. No, it's still like 3 years, because it was like later. But other than that, on and off, I've been watching him trade for a long time. I've been doing my own like little things, and I wasn't committed to trading to even a tenth of the degree that he's committed to trading. And the minimum that you need to be committed or resolved enough to like get into this and like be profitable and consistent is about like a fifth of what he's doing. And I was only doing a tenth, and so that's why I was going sideways. To where, I'm not a dumb guy. Like, I'm just stupid. So first, let me define stupid. It's like when you know the right thing, but you still do the wrong thing, because like some part of you is aiming down, and then another part's aiming up. I'm gonna just leave that there. Would you short between 3.5 and 4? Yeah, around like 3.8. I think I talked about it before. On the daily, this looks like the minimum point where it could have a reversal. But in terms of how fast it went up there, it wasn't fast enough for me to see this as a heavy spot, just as like a bare minimum momentum shift spot. And again, it goes back to like range gain, range loss. You want it to be heavy and overextended. At this point, it's a 20 million float. We're about an hour in. It's already at 20 million. You can't even get a good gauge of like where this is going to like end at the end of the day unless you do your first hour estimate, which pretty much gives you oh, my lines are gonna disappear, but it's fine. So this is from 9. Just do 30 minutes then. So with this we got 13. Yeah, this should be enough. So using this 13 times what, 8? 13.5? 13.1. So this puts us at like a heavy estimate of like 100 on the day. And like that's not even, that's just talking about the first 30 minutes liquidity. You're actually supposed to add on the next what would that be, another 30 minutes, which hasn't, completed yet, but you can see that it's a little bit slower, but it still has 10 minutes to like bridge that gap. But this shows that the liquidity is actually slowing down a little bit, especially if this falls at like 10 instead of the 13 right now. And with that, if we're just using this first 30 minutes, we can get a gauge of like the liquidity for the rest of the day. And then as long as it keeps up this pace, it should end up at 100. But as soon as it goes down, that's when we know that 1, it's lunchtime. 2, there's certain opportunities that are how do I say this? Like different people are going to come in, and so the people that are like started here, there's going to be like a battle in between, and the people that have like the best edge are the ones that got in early, or the ones that waited to the very end of the day, waiting for like that action to happen. The people in the middle, they rarely lose, or they rarely win. Unless you have like that midday perk pattern and like stuff like that. Now the only time the people in the middle win is when they go long and like they're doing some other pattern, or if enough people like join their side and then it goes up. Like I could definitely put it in simple terms. I'll just get beat up by Steven. So I can't share too much. But that's pretty much all. Yeah, I get you on that. You just do it because you couldn't care. I don't know the context on that, but I think I know what you're talking about. So you know how there's a lot of rumors out there of short sellers are the evilest people. I don't want to start saying like fake news stuff, but like I'm one of those people that like I grew up in Ohio, so like I had so much like racism and like negativity and everything in between like around me, and like I am a product of my environment, and so like my internal is like filled with just so much fear, and so I would have to get to the point where, to be quote unquote tough, I would have to lie to myself so often just to move forward, just because I knew I had like friends that were like a little bit like in a worse place, or same thing with family. And so that's really what happened. And eventually when I met Steven, he was just a person that he didn't have all his stuff together, but he definitely had something I didn't have. And I'm like, wait a second, I need to hang around this dude. And then I think he just liked my stubbornness. He's like very willful kind of person. He's just like, okay, you can hang with me. Like, hopefully, like your non-laziness will like rub off on me. But I still couldn't aim worth shit, pretty much. About self-sabotaging. Oh, the self-sabotaging. Yeah, I do that a lot. Yeah. uh what do you call it? I think I told you guys yesterday. I try to remind myself of my self-sabotaging tendencies. Because like self-trust, honor, self-respect, anything that doesn't make you feel shameless. I only get into that kind of active depressive state after I either after something bad happens in your life. And usually if something bad doesn't happen like, you know, like to a certain degree, you can keep up that momentum, pick yourself up real quick and just keep going. But when it's something outside of your control, but you feel like you could have did something, that's where it just gets real weird. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, what is it? I was getting messages from the man upstairs. Okay, listen. Um, yeah, but that's in trading, self sabotaging. Um, there's a lot of people out there that are doing it, and some of them actually aren't even aware of it. And so, like, it's hard to say, not hard to say, but it's kind of cruel to say, but that's another edge. And knowing that makes me feel guilty in some kind of way. And so, like, unless I actually feel like a bully, it's hard for me to, you know, take that route without feeling some type of regret, shame, guilt, until I realize that everyone has the same opportunity. We just have like different starting lines. And so I just keep having to reaffirm that idea to make it something worth doing. And the only reason I have to do that is because, like, again, in Ohio, everyone's super negative. Or like not everyone, but like where I grew up, they were all super negative. And when it came to the stock market, they've been saying the same thing like for a long time, where it's just like you go to the stock market to lose money. You go to the stock market to take dumb people money. I like to call it rational money and then irrational. Yeah, and like that was also like one of my mom would say one thing, my dad would say another, and then I'm like, okay, this one's kind of better at life. This one's kind of better at the heart. So I'm just like, which one do I follow? So it's a whole like cycle, personal issue. But I think it accounts for at least 10% of you guys, and so like that's the only reason I'm sharing. Uh, every time I do something I enjoy, I want to do, I beat myself up for not doing enough, and when I do not do the things I want to do, I still beat myself up. Oh, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Because yeah, I get that. I always call it I'm being a try hard, but I'm not trying hard in the right places. In those cases, you have to have like a person point out what you're doing, like accept reality, because that goes back to, you know, beat myself up, you know, for not being able to, you know, stop people from littering. Like you can't do anything about that. Like, but I like holding responsibility, but I hate it at the same time. I take responsibility for like so much stupid stuff, just because I know it in some part of me. It's just like if I was strong enough, like a little bit. Okay, from Sudan in Africa. Good. I don't know if I should repeat what Stat God said, but yeah, focus is definitely it's a big thing. Uh, lately I've been trying to like list gratitudes and like what stuff actually is, just to help me focus on what's actually possible, like reality. Yeah. can you review P&L, please? P&L. Profit loss. Where is? Oh yeah, I didn't bring it. Yeah, we haven't traded in weeks. What is there to what is there to review? Where's the big one? Yeah, this is where I'm at right now. Yeah, pretty much back where we started in July. But the difference is we're not going to end up here. Because remember, this was 2 trades. And then it took us how many to get back? About like a lot. But now to get down, what do you call it? This be like 7. Yeah, but like 7 minus 5. Yeah. To get down like another 13. 1, 2, 3. This is about like five trades. Just to lose all that. And that came from trying something. But I'm okay. Because like I tried something and I lost half of what I originally lost before. Like remember, 2 trades lost 15K. Now 5 trades lost 15K. I call that progress. That's how I see it. I meant ticker is PL. The ticker PL. What is? There's a ticker called PL? No way. What? Yeah, it's $1 billion market cap. And then there's no range. There's also no volume. Yeah, there's nothing there. SPL me? What? How'd you not even know? All right. I got time. It's Friday. SPL. No edge on PL. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any edge on PL. So other than that, another good talk, guys. Let's keep it up. These really help me, and I hope it helps like someone else that reviews these. It's Friday. It's 10:30. Market's still dead. Hopefully, something happens either late in the day or Monday. So enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys Monday.